What's good, everybody? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Jerry Fit, and we are back to react with what's new on the 2. And today, man, we got another murder mystery, man. We got the mom discovers her teen son is actually the killer. That's tough, man. As parents, man, you gotta make sure you always know what's going on with your kids, man. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I have no idea what it's like. I mean, I was pretty bad too. I wasn't bad, okay, but like, I did definitely stress my parents the hell out. Growing up, coming up in high school and stuff, being adventurous. You know, I played on the football team and soccer team, so you know, you join teams and go through high school and you try different stuff. So like not like hard drugs like or anything like that. Just like going to parties and stuff, being past when I'm supposed to be, simple things like that. Everything that a teenager does. I definitely put my parents through it a bit, but yeah, things can happen when you don't have a lot of structure in the home. Unfortunate things like this, they can slip right through your hands. So you just always want to make sure as a parent that you're staying in your kids' lives. But enough yapping for me. We're just gonna get right into the video. I reacted earlier to Nuggets Nuggets OKC. So that video is up right now. You guys can check that out. But I had an exam to take, so we're gonna be reacting on this. I'm gonna keep my eye out for the Timberwolves highlights, and then we'll get that up. And yeah, man, should be a good night. Got a lot of reactions coming through, so yeah, just catch your vibe, roll up, get some snacks, get some popcorn. Jump right into this.
The EMS just pronounced her deceased. Oh my God, man. This is 14-year-old Porfirio Brown, and he's just been arrested.
Bro, 14 years old, arrested for murder for what?
The victim, 13-year-old Amber Archuleta, had been shot in a drive-by.
13 years old, bro.
Speak to more witnesses. Serious doubt is cast on Porfirio's story.
And he pointed at her, and she went to go like take it away from her face, right? All of a sudden, you just hear I look, and I
On July 28, 2023, in Preston, New Mexico, officers and EMS personnel responded to a residence.
Bro, that's so sad. 14, 13 years old.
In a random drive-by shooting. While the girl, 13-year-old Amber Archuleta, still had a pulse when they arrived, it was only a matter of time before things went south.
You
said you do have doubt.
area of
She like? As the medical staff do their best to save Amber's life, officers match the scene to ensure the medics are not disturbed. However, one person at the location keeps giving the officers a hard time as he tries to access Amber and check for her pulse.
I'm gonna have to ask you, what you're doing right now is not helping. I'm gonna need you to go sit down over here, or just give us a second. You don't need to be a second. I understand, but what you're doing right now is I understand, but what you're doing right now is not helping. Okay, I'm not trying to get I'm not trying to get I'm trying to help you. Okay, what you're doing right now is helping. Please, well, here's the thing. The medics are on the way. All we can try to do is get Captain alive while the medics are in. Pretty good. So can you please just go over there and let us do our job, please? It's okay, but I understand. That's all. I totally get it. We're gonna need you back up, please. Oh, guys, being here is not gonna help. Let us do our job. Let us do our job.
Is this the guy that killed her? Trying to get to her now? Trying to put on the front, bro? That's just like, why did he do this, bro?
Right now. Right now. I just need to step back for a second. I understand your sister. I understand you love her. We're gonna do anything last weekend. Is that okay? I promise you. I promise you that, okay? It's okay. It's okay. I understand your I understand your I can too. Wait, I'm gonna need you to step back because we're working on it. Let them work on it. Stop yelling at him. Stop freaking out. Just let us do our job, okay?
That is Frankie Archuleta, Amber's brother. So his reaction at this point is understandable.
I'm so
As we
confused.
go deeper into this case, his role in her tragedy will shock you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought the brother killed her.
Back to where it all started. The moment Amber's girlfriend, 14-year-old Diana Gonzalez, made a frenzied call to the police. Backed up by Porfirio Brown and Frankie, she claimed that Amber had been shot in the face in a random drive-by shooting. Now, as Amber is being attended to, an officer gathers information from Frankie.
Tell me what happened. Did somebody pass by? Okay, who else is here? Is this you guys? When check pulse? I just it was there. Where's the shot? That's what I'm trying to get in front of you. Supposedly it's a drive-by that happened near the road.
At this point, the officers are working with the drive-by story, so they go to the street to check for evidence.
I'm looking for a casing down there. I haven't seen anything yet. It said I'm down here on the street. That's why I'm looking. I'm not sure what's down here. He said it seemed like they cleared up here, but this was closed.
Amid the flurry of activities, what Amber's family and friends fear most comes true. The officers quickly move to manage the situation effectively.
Let's get some tape and start taking everything off, tape everything off, put a unit in the road. I want to block off whatever we can.
With the circumstances now changed, an officer approaches Porfirio to hear his side of the story.
Was she inside? From the front door? From the front door? Okay. Put it on the phone. Can you show me where you got her from, please? Yeah. Where is it? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where she was at so I can secure the scene in that area.
It's right there by that house here.
Wait, oh, down the road further?
Like just right there by that house.
So you carried her all the way over here?
I'm confused on who shot who.
Porfirio alleged that he observed a suspicious black SUV with tinted windows drive by his home. Now, he has just claimed that his friend, Frankie, rushed to their home and said that his sister, Amber, had been shot on the street. He then added that the two of them went down to the road and brought her back to the house. However, when the officers speak to the 911 caller, 14-year-old Diana Gonzalez, glaring inconsistencies in Porfirio's and Frankie's accounts start to emerge.
So are they both in on it? It's low-key cold in here, man.
And he ended up going to the front, and he ended up going back to his house. And then next thing you know, he pulls out his revolver, the one that had the spinning barrel.
Okay.
He pulls out one of those.
There's a handgun?
Yeah, and then he ends up pointing it at her, and she went to go.
Give me 1 second, okay?
I'm so confused, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
What kind of revolver do you know?
I don't know what
You just know that it was a revolver handgun.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was one of those.
Gotcha.
And he points it at her, and she wants to go like take it away from her face, right? All of a sudden, you just hear a boom. I look, and I see her close to the ground, and I see her, she's cursed.
So he shot her in the face with the handgun?
Yeah,
Where were you guys when he shot her with the handgun?
over here, the kitchen.
You guys were inside the house when it happened?
Yeah.
Gianna, Porfirio, Frankie, Amber, and another juvenile were at Porfirio's home listening to music when they decided to check out Porfirio's father's guns. At some point, Porfirio pointed his gun at Amber's face.
Yeah,
When
man.
she moved it away from him,
You gotta be responsible if you're an owner, man.
And he points at her.
There's no reason that your kid should be able to get to your guns, man. That's just irresponsible. I don't care what the excuse is. That's just irresponsible.
She just starts to bleed.
There should be no way that they're that accessible to people who aren't supposed to be
Porfirio and Frankie's
using
account
it.
comes undone even more.
At what point did somebody start cleaning up blood?
I think I really didn't see him do it that much, but
I mean, like, say something needs to go okay if I speak to him. Tell him what you wanted to help him do. He asked me to help him care if he was
that's very true. When I forgot about that, but
This dude's trying to cover up
he was,
something. How do you forget about that?
Kill himself. He kept asking me, or like, and like, if like to get her to the road, to say like somebody drove by and shot her, I could drive by.
There's a story of a vehicle driving by.
Oh. Yeah, he made that story of whenever he shot her and took her outside. When
What did he tell you about that?
So none of these guys called the police, though? All of these friends of his, none of them called the police when he told them? I mean, I guess. Never mind. I take that back. But like, that's just like kind of sad, bro. Like, damn. Like, he asked his friends to help, like, cover it up, and then he put them in jeopardy now. I wonder if they're all going to get charged for something, because, I mean, that is wrong that they were helping him try to cover it up. But, I mean, I can understand not going to the police about it, especially, like, if you just, I mean, like, if you feel like you did something wrong and you want nothing to, like, do with it. I don't know. You got to be careful when you make these types of decisions, man. You shouldn't be involved in stuff that, you don't want to pay the consequences for, so.
story that drive-by happened right next to that dumpster in front of us, like, on the road, because the drive-by happened right there, and her brother went to his house freaking out about it, and they ended up dragging her over there.
It has emerged that Porfirio shot Amber and dragged her body outside.
Okay. So I was getting confused, but so this is Amber. I think the same picture that they're showing of her, like, taking the selfie with the phone, too. Maybe just a little older. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure that this is Amber. I was getting confused.
A road. He then asked the other teens to confirm the drive-by shooting story. As the officer continues to gather more information from the teen, another officer meets Amber's father. At this point, he can only hope that the medical teams are doing their best, and his daughter will be okay.
Yeah,
However,
I
all
think that's
that is about to be shattered.
Hi, sir. I understand. Can you talk to me for just a couple minutes? The EMS just pronounced her deceased. Oh, God, man. I'll have one of my guys in the drum trying to stay out here to block this stuff.
That's horrible, man. I mean, like, his reaction, I feel like, I wonder if he's been through something like this before. Like, why is he so composed? I don't know. I mean, that must be hard to hear, man.
I'm sorry, sir. My condolences. I'm honestly, I'm going to do my damnedest to figure out what happened. I'm sorry. I didn't know that my son called me. I had no idea.
The officers now know that Amber was shot in the kitchen of Porfirio's home. They've already secured the scene of her demise, and it's time to go into the house. Inside, they speak to Porfirio's father, 39-year-old William Brown.
Oh, so this is two different families?
Looking for a case.
That's even way more responsible. That makes it way worse. Like, even, like, you should not, there should be no excuse that you have loaded automatic or loaded any kind of weapon in the house that is unsecure for kids to go get. But, like, the fact that it's the kid that went and got his father's gun and took it to, like, another house or another family and caused harm, that's even worse, man. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's so tough to hear, bro. There's no reason for that. Like, you shouldn't be owning guns if you're not responsible enough to lock them away, bro. This whole thing could have been avoided if the father was just responsible.
Stuff like that. That's fine. I can't find it.
Now another family's got to go through this loss because this dude is being responsible.
All right, I'll go hang out outside and let you do your thing. Yeah, just
We got a sheet set up, so then he's close. So we got lock up everything. Turns out they don't lock us.
What?
all right. I know it's just don't clean that for me. The police come sort of do the whole 9 yards. Just so you know.
A while later, officers collect evidence from the house. Outside, an officer tells Porfirio that he can't go back into the house. The officer also doesn't forget to mention something important to guarantee everyone's safety.
I just can't have you inside the house with the firearms. It's okay. I know you're not going to do anything.
Minutes passed, and at some point, William called their attorney. Unaware of this development, an officer knocked on the door to speak to William, only to hit a snag in an already complicated case.
Porfirio, Officer Mato, State Police, bro, come on out. Make sure, is this the scene where it happened?
Well, she's the body's in the back. They don't see nothing.
Okay, can you give us just a file? Brown, come here. You got a warrant? There's gonna be a warrant. Body check this on the way when you guys step on out. We're trying to cooperate. This guy's body let people go over here. So what's the issue? There's an issue. Are you supposed to stay here live here? Yeah, I live here. This is my home. Okay. Are there any neighbors coming to talk to you? So what's the hang out? No. There's not. What's your neighbor? William. There's not any hang out. What are we supposed to? Huh? What are we supposed to do? Yeah, but that's not really an interview. No, they're not. I'm attorney to be present. You can call your attorney. Come on, we'll talk. We're not talking. They said you guys can schedule. You guys can call the LMS's office. Okay, that's fine. We'll have to come down to the office. We're not going to be. No investigations, man. We're not going to be. These guys want to let people go that we're bound. Okay, probably because they already have their contact information. We're stepping in and we have our detectives from state police coming over. And
by refusing the officer officers access to his house, William has frustrated their efforts. However, the officers have no idea that he is only getting started.
As far as you, if you're staying, I will leave. Okay, so you just got here just now, or you just get here after? Yeah. I was at work. He didn't call me what happened. Did your son tell you anything like that? He just said that there was a girl that shot and he didn't know what to do. Did he say we shot the girl? You can't, Ashley, you can't go there. He said we shot the girl. He said a black SUV.
While William had tried to point the officers to the drive-by story, they just didn't buy it. After thoroughly checking the scene, they determined that didn't happen, concluding that Porfirio was involved. With that, only one course of action remained.
What are you doing? What you need? What? But what? So that's it. But how long is it? How long is it? I can give you answers. What do you? How long is it taking? We've been talking about this. Okay. We don't know how long it takes to go. I mean, we appreciate there's a difference, right? Yeah. I don't know either. So you know, we got that on action.
Before leading him into a squad, an officer reads Porfirio his Miranda rights.
Of course, I'm only asking you two things. Of course, you write them inside, and when you say or do, and what you against your foot a lot. You have the right to return. You cannot put one. Won't give you the right to no cost.
This is a crazy ass story, bro.
You understand your rights.
After being placed in handcuffs, the officers start leading Porfirio to a squad car. Meanwhile, his father gives the officers a tough time.
Stop. I'm not. What are you trying to stop? What are you stop? You have a girl. I do, sir. I didn't try to cooperate with the cops. Hold on. What did it take you when you said cooperate, you guys? I am. I wasn't talking to you. I just wanted to leave something in your but you can't keep doing this, then I'll put you in cuffs. I don't want to do that. You've done nothing wrong.
A few minutes later, that's exactly what happens. William, too, has been an offender all along, and he is about to face the consequences.
What?
Information about what all took place. As far as the black SUV, it's not. That's not going to happen. Does that make sense?
If you're saying I can't tell you because I was at work.
Okay, then I get that. But another thing that you need to understand is there's a lot of guns in that house, right? And none of them are secured.
Fucking knew it, bro. I told you, bro. I fucking told you, man. I knew it, bro. None of this shit would happen if any of them were secured, bro. What I feel like they're gonna say like child endangerment or like, yeah, like something along those lines because like, dude, that's so irresponsible.
You have to either okay. With that right there, everything else pretty good.
Fuck, yep.
William had a lot of guns in the house, and none of them were secured. Elsewhere, in a shocking display of complete ignorance of the severity of the offense he's just committed, Porfirio makes a disturbing claim. Listen to this squad car audio.
Are you okay? Okay? I love you. Okay?
They ain't gonna tell me any word. They ain't gonna tell me.
It's okay. If you cannot play it, we have a lawyer. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna have to get something.
I can't. But my wrists are all getting cut into.
You have to settle down. You have to be calm right now, okay?
My wrists are getting cut into.
Bro, he knew what he was doing, bro. They have nothing on me, he
I know
says.
it's hurt. Your lips, I can't do anything about that.
William was later charged with negligent making a firearm accessible
Good,
to a
bro.
minor.
Good. People have to be held accountable for that bullshit.
First person charged under the March 2023 Benny's Law that allowed a parent to be charged if they didn't properly store a firearm before their child used it to commit a crime. The law was
Damn.
named after Benny Hargrove, an Albuquerque middle schooler who was shot and killed by a fellow student. The suspect allegedly used his father's gun to shoot the boy during recess.
Prayers, man.
faced
Prayers to
charges for
family.
shooting and killing 13-year-old Amber. He also faced a second-degree murder charge, tampering with evidence, and attempted assault of a peace officer, charges for the shooting. He was booked into a juvenile detention center, but later released to live with his grandparents.
Judge Jeffrey Shannon ruled the teenagers should be released with an ankle monitor to his grandparents in
It's kind of different version of video that shows that they get
He never pulled the trigger. His case went to
released.
trial in March 2024. The first major evidence presented in court was the disturbing 911 call made by Amber's 14-year-old girlfriend, Kiana Gonzalez. While Kiana had claimed that Amber had been shot in a drive-by, the court learned that Porfirio had accidentally shot Amber while playing with a revolver.
Was it an accident though? This dude was
The
talking about like,
autopsy confirmed this when bullet fragments were found in Amber's brain.
But he was
And
talking
at the
about,
back of the head.
how they have nothing on her.
Whereabouts were suspiciously unknown.
Goodline mysteriously disappeared after that time period. It's understandable for this family to be extremely upset by this process because it's been extremely hard on them.
Kiana and Frankie described what happened that day. They said they were hanging out and herding sheep when Porfirio suddenly pulled out the revolver. Gonzalez recalled that the gun was black with a wooden handle. She saw a flash, and Amber immediately fell to the ground. At first, she thought Amber had pushed the gun away from her face before it fired.
And he points at her, and so she like went to move it. And that's when you just hear a loud bang and a little bit of light, and then she drops. And next thing you know, she just starts to bleed.
Later, she said Amber and Porfirio had been playfully struggling over the gun when it went off. They insisted there was no anger or fighting before the shot was fired. After the shooting, he dragged the body outside near the road and tried to convince Frankie and Kiana to lie about the incident, saying it was a drive-by shooting. However, both teens refused to help him move the body or continue the false story. New Mexico State Police investigator Shane Faulkner testified that officers found multiple firearms inside Brown's home. Among them were an AK-47, shotguns, .22 caliber rifles, and boxes of ammunition.
Can you describe what it is?
and let me be clear, I have absolutely nothing against people owning guns, bro. Like, the Second Amendment is there for a reason. But, dude, you just have to be responsible when you own them. Like, you can't just have all these weapons lying around the house. How do the officers find this many weapons just lying around the house, bro? This is dumb irresponsible. This is how people get fucking hurt, bro. I hope that guy is in jail just as long as his son is, because he's an idiot, bro. Whole thing could have been avoided. Phillips.
See this one then? So that's typically called an AK-47. Okay. And where was it located? It would have been in a closet to this room. Prosecutors believed one of the missing weapons, a cowboy-style revolver with a wooden handle, was the one used to shoot Amber. This revolver belonged to Porfirio's grandmother, Glenda Graham, who said it was given to her as a gift just a month before the shooting. However, she left it at her home in Carlsbad when she traveled to Taos for the hearing. Both of Porfirio's parents, William Brown and Ashley Baumgartner, along with his 16-year-old sister, Alexis Brown, testified in court. They said the family was trained in gun safety and knew about the weapons in the home. However, they could not say exactly how many guns were in the house. Baumgartner estimated there were at least 20. Alexis Brown said the guns were always locked away, but investigators found weapons easily visible in bedrooms and the living room. Faulkner testified that blood was found in multiple places inside the Brown home, including the kitchen, laundry room, and bedrooms. According to Gonzalez and Frankie, Porfirio had tried to clean up the blood before the police arrived. When Porfirio called his mother to tell her about the shooting, he claimed it was the result of a drive-by. Before the trial, Gonzalez and Frankie described Porfirio as a close friend. Gonzalez said she had known him since kindergarten and had never been afraid of him. However, they had now become key witnesses in the case against him. Present at the hearing were Amber's father, Joshua Archuleta, and her family. Joshua appeared devastated and struggled to come to terms with what had happened. He shared memories of his daughter, saying she loved music and played the guitar. Just the day before her death, she had spent hours in her room practicing a Justin Bieber song until she had mastered it. William Brown went to trial too.
So
The
young,
jury
man.
found him
So.
not guilty in June 2024.
His father, William Brown, found not guilty back in June.
Porfirio's case ended in a hung jury in March 2024, after the jury failed to reach a unanimous verdict. According to Porfirio's lawyer, the jury came to an 8-4 vote. This revelation was hard on Amber's family.
Of course, I'm very disappointed that it wasn't a guilty verdict.
So what does that mean?
Jury, my thoughts were there were some people in that jury that believe that he's guilty.
Okay, well that doesn't mean anything. There's some people that believe one way and the other way all the time.
Guilty to tampering with evidence. Porfirio was subsequently given 1 year of probation, and his other charges were dropped.
Oh my gosh, bro. Dude, if this is not the biggest slap on the wrist that I've ever seen in my fucking life. For both the parent and him, dude. Dog. This took place in New Mexico? How lenient are the gun laws out there? Bro, 1 year on probation for killing a 13-year-old man. That's crazy.
On July 31st, 2023, at Eagle Rock Lake, Amber's family, friends, and community members gathered to remember her and call for change. Many people spoke about the need for more accountability, especially when it comes to guns. Glenda Almanchef, Amber's aunt, said that people can't just ignore warning signs. If someone knows that a person carries a gun, they should speak up before something terrible happens. Amber's family shared their pain and love for her. Glenda called Amber their beautiful niece, and talked about how the entire community was grieving. In small towns like Cuesta, everyone knows each other, which makes a tragedy like this even harder to bear. People came from far away, including those the family hadn't seen in decades, to show their support. Amber's friends also spoke, remembering her unique personality. One friend recalled seeing Amber at school every day and greeting her with a hug, even though Amber wasn't a big fan of hugs. But despite that, Amber
That's
was
sad,
very
man.
much
Prayers to the
appreciated,
family, man. Rest in
and another person
peace.
shared a similar story, laughing about how they would chase Amber around, trying to get a hug. It was little moments like that that made her special. Aunt Edith used the moment to remind everyone that life is not like a video game. When someone is shot, they don't get back up. It's final. She urged parents to keep guns locked away and out of reach of children, emphasizing that guns are dangerous and real. Amber's death left a deep scar on her community. Her family, friends, and neighbors all came together to honor her memory and call for action. They didn't just want to grieve. They wanted to prevent tragedies like this from happening again. Amber was more than just a victim. She was a bright, loving person who made an impact on everyone who knew her. If you enjoyed true crime videos like this,
That's the end of the video, guys. If you want more videos, like he was about to say, let me know in the comments. Send me videos that you want me to react to, and I will get to it as soon as possible, man. Dude, comment below your thoughts on this video, man. This shit was sad, bro. It was honestly one of the sadder murder mysteries that I've reacted to. It's kind of crazy that the kid got off with only 1 year, and the dad didn't even face any consequences for being irresponsible, like with his weapons. But that's the world that we live in today, man. Like I said, prayers to the family of the victim. It's sad when they go so young, man. Only 13 years old that they said she was. I mean, it's a sad situation for everybody involved, man. The kid was only 14 when he shot her, so you have to imagine how much of a mental toll that takes. But, you know, hopefully it's just like an accident and that kid, you know, just made a bad mistake in a bad environment where, you know, weapons weren't secured. And hopefully he can, you know, learn from something like this. I mean, how do you even continue to go after doing something like that? I mean, it makes me really wonder what the kid's intentions were just because of what, like, the audio in the car. Like, I don't know. I wish, like, we knew more context about, like, what was going on in their lives at the time. But it said, like, they didn't have any arguments right before it happened. So I guess we'll never know, man. But like I said, if you like these kinds of videos, man, just let me know. I'll react to them. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.